Hi, I'm Jannik Sinner.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Janis Kudla.
This is Sebastian Olfner.
It's Marc-Andrea Whistler.
I am Francisco Cerundolo.
And you're listening to the GTL podcast. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. Here we go, the Monte Carlo draw preview. Sorry, it's a little bit later than planned, and we know that the matches have already kicked off. It's one of those strange tournaments where we get the qualifiers. They're playing at the same time as the main draw, and it doesn't happen too often, but in this case, yeah, we've sort of missed the start. They've just kicked off as we speak. We've got Sebastian Baez and Jan-Lennard Struff have just kicked this one off. Great to see everybody. If you want to help the channel, make sure to hit a like on this video and subscribe as well, and download the TNNS app if you want to be involved with the Fantasy League brackets, and you can play against myself and JG. JG unfortunately can't make this one. He's stuck somewhere in traffic, so I am bringing it to you before the matches finish. We don't want the first round matches to go before we make our predictions. So I'm going to be taking you through it, and, well, we'll start off where we normally start off, and that is with the past champions in Monte Carlo. So I've got a new little transition to get me over to the new bits, so hopefully you like it. Ooh, yeah, that's all right, isn't it? So now, here are the past champions, and Andrei Rublev was last year's winner. He defeated Holger Rune in 3 sets in the final. Obviously, Holger Rune was the person who defeated Jannik Sinner last year, and Andrei Rublev didn't have to come up against a Carlos Alcaraz in this tournament. He wasn't there last year, and he's much better than he was when he turned up in 2022 as well. So will we get to see the best version of Carlos Alcaraz? Great to see some of our regulars in the live chat. We got Gene in there saying hello, Ben, and saying Carlos apparently has some discomfort in his right forearm. I still think that this is sort of the surface where we're going to see him like thrive, though. That was in practice, apparently. He has a bye through the first round, so I expect him to be fully fit. Let us know your predictions as we're going through this in the live chat as well. And if you're watching this afterwards, then pop them in the comment section as well. Great to hear from everybody. As you can see, the biggest champion at Monte Carlo, Rafael Nadal, has won this 11 times. It's a crazy number, I have to say. Fabio Fognini getting his name in there, inserting himself just after Rafael Nadal, and Dusan Lajovic, somebody who does pretty well here as well. Tsitsipas, can't rule him out in this tournament. I feel that Stefanos Tsitsipas, being a 2-time champion, if anywhere his luck's going to change, I feel it's in Monte Carlo. And probably the same goes for Andrei Rublev as well. Obviously, this is where he won his first Masters, I believe, and that was last year. So Novak Djokovic, we all know the story with him going for the Golden Masters 3 times. And Stan Wawrinka in there as well. Nice, he'll be in the draw, so we will go through that. Just to update you on some of the qualifiers who are playing at the moment. Some have finished. Collier has knocked out Rinderknecht. We've had Summit Nagao, really impressive performance, knocking out Diaz Acosta. Hanfmann and Munar, they look like they're going the distance there, nearly into a 3rd set tiebreak. Luca Nardi going through, knocking out Muller. We've got Moutet. Yeah, he's pretty good on the clay. He's beaten Altmaier. Well, Altmaier could come back in that one. And Chris O'Connell, friend of the pod, he's a set up against Vukic. This is a crazy one, though, to have for the qualifying. Lorenzo Sonego, Batista Agut. That would have been a main draw match not too long ago, but they find themselves in the qualification right now. And you can see here, there is a match that has just begun as well. There are some other matches going on in other tournaments, some finals being played today as well. You can see that up here. We have Hubie Hurkacz versus Pedro Martinez in Estoril. We've got Shelton TFO in Houston, and we have Berrettini versus Kobayes Buena in Marrakesh. Well, if they're going to do well in those tournaments, will that affect their performance in this tournament? That's the big question. And we're going to go through the draw now. Great to see Kathy as well. Kathy joining in the live chat. Great to have you in. And for this one, I'm going to next be giving you my predictions. So let's get into it. Right, we've got some other people joining as well. We've got Dahlia in as well. Great to have you in. Make sure you've hit that like button and subscribed. Novak Djokovic, he is heading the draw, and he will be up against potentially Roman Safiullin in the second round. We don't have the places for the qualifiers yet, but they probably will fill the draw in a few hours' time. For now, we'll just have to say Safiullin goes through. But I think that one is subject to change, really. Arthur Fee versus Adrian Manarino. I'll be going Fees here. We got Lorenzo Musetti versus Taylor Fritz. I mean, what an epic first-round matchup this one is. We've got a few of them. This one, I'm going for Fritz to get knocked out by Lorenzo Musetti. I think Musetti, well, when he beat Djokovic last year, he's got some good memories from Monte Carlo. Been playing better as well recently. We saw some amazing shots, some good run of form since he had his child. I think that could play a factor as well. Now we're entering the clay court swing. This is where he really comes to life. So sorry to Taylor Fritz there, but I'm going to have him going out. Alex de Minaur versus Stan Wawrinka. This is actually really tough to call. I mean, if Stan was a little bit younger, I might favour him. I think there'd probably be a few people picking Stan here as well. I still think I'm going to be going for Alex de Minaur, though. I think it will be a tough match, but I think Alex de Minaur is pretty good, and I think it might be a three-setter, though. Dominic Koepfer, I reckon he will get beaten by Talon Griekspoor. We got Alexei Poprin. That one could be a banana skin as well, a qualifier. Andrei Rublev, the champion from last year, I expect him to go through. Gene reckons the Demon will outlast Stan. And Victor reckons Fritz is knocking out Musetti. Okay, well, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Coming down here, we got Alcaraz. He is in Djokovic's half, remember? And could face Felix in the second round. I'm not so sure that he will, because Felix is going to have to play one of those really good qualifiers. There's some really good ones in there. So for me, a lot of these people who are playing qualifiers first round may just go straight out. Zhang versus Giron. This one, for me, no real idea who will win. I'll go Zhang just as a little bit of a punt. Ugo Humbert, I think that he will win. Hurkacz versus Draper. I'm going to go Hurkacz. I mean, he's just making a final right now today, but I still feel that he'll have enough to carry on the form. I don't think Draper's tried and tested on the clay yet. I'm going to have Lehechka going through against a qualifier. Tabio, he's pretty damn good on the clay, as is Casper Ruud, especially in the Masters. We've got Zverev, Offner versus Evans, and this is where I'm going to have Sebastian Offner knocking out Dan Evans. We know Evans has beaten Djokovic here before. I'm still going for Sebastian Offner. Just a little bit biased here on GTL, just because when we meet somebody and we get to play tennis with them, we favour them. Echeverry, Jarry, probably one of the ties of the first round, I'd say. I'm going to go Jarry to knock out Echeverry here. We've got Serve and Jewel saying Ruud could make a big run. Definitely could. And Gene reckons Draper could beat Hubie. Interesting. I'm yet to see what Jack Draper can do, so I'll wait. If he does beat Hubie, then he's going to be on my radar a bit more. Not an easy first round match for Steph. It is Laszlo Djere, and I think he'll have enough, but this is a very, very tough first round matchup for Stefanos Tsitsipas. It could go 3 if Tsitsipas isn't on his game, but I think Tsitsipas will be. I think that this is a place that he knows and loves. Khachanov versus Cam Norrie. I'm actually going to go Kalan Khachanov to knock out Cam Norrie here. Might surprise you. I think Khachanov's been having a little spell of form as well. Cerundolo, I expect to beat a qualifier. I'm going to have Monfils beating Thompson. Medvedev through with a bye. Rune into the next round. Arnaldi. I mean, we don't know the qualifier, so I'll put Arnaldi for now. Berrettini in a final. Got a wild card. I expect him to beat Kecmanovic. We got Valentin Vasilov. I don't expect him to beat Grigor Dimitrov. Dimitrov to go through. I think Borna Coric will knock out Bublik as well. Dario asking who is Nagao playing in the first round. We don't know yet. They haven't been put into the draw yet. So we'll go. And well, the match that's on right now, I'm going to tell you, I've already picked my draw, so I sort of know who I'm going to pick. But I'm going to tell you that I had Jan-Lennard Struff. He's been to the quarterfinals in Monte Carlo before. I know it's a tough one. Sebastian Baez's never really done anything at Monte Carlo in the past. Doesn't mean he won't now. I think Struff should be able to get that one done, maybe in 3. Fokina versus Korda. Oh, I'm going Davidovich Fokina. If you saw my little news video about Jannik Sinner's draw, I think Fokina will get past Korda in this one, and Jannik Sinner with the bye. Gene saying I disagree with all of these. I have Bublik beating Coric. Well, one of us is going to be right. One of us is going to be wrong. Moving back to the top, though, Novak Djokovic versus Roman Safiullin. I expect Novak Djokovic to win that one. I mean, not the worst start. And I expect Musetti, if he's beaten Fritz, to knock out Arthur Fils to set up a rematch of last year. And we'll get Djokovic, Musetti again. We've got David saying Lehechka has pulled out. Oh, no. Terrible news from the Lehechka camp. Don't like to hear that. Do we know why he's pulled out? Any news on the actual cause? It'd be good to know that, just for future reference. I mean, I'll have a quick look on Twitter, but I can't see anything off the top of my head. But I don't think it's going to affect my draw too much. We've got Gene saying lower back injury. That's sad to see. Coming down. This might surprise you. I'm going for Talon Griekspoor to knock out Alex de Minaur. Great on the clay. And I'm going to have Andrei Rublev knocking out Poprin. I'm going to have Alcaraz knocking out Felix. Humbert knocking out Zhang. Hubie knocking out Lehechka. As we know, Lehechka now not going to play. Probably going to be one of a lucky loser or something now. Gives an opportunity for maybe a Diaz Acosta. He didn't make it through in the qualifying. Lost out. But maybe there's a chance for him now. Tabio Ruud will be great. But I think Casper Ruud will get it done. Zverev Offner. I think they've met a few times now. It's not a good pick for the likes of Seb Offner. I think Zverev will beat him. Jarry, I mean, Tsitsipas's route is very, very dangerous. I mean, it's not easy at all. Gele, Jarry, and then Zverev. I think he'll get past Jarry. I think Steph, his serving is so good, and his net play, if he puts it all together here, I think the courts suit him too well. I'm going to have Cerundolo knocking out Kalan Khachanov. Gene reckons Jarry to beat Steph. Easy. Ooh, not so sure. I think you've got to give Steph a bit of credit. I think I'm looking at his stock overall, Gene. You're looking at more his recent form. I think it's like when you get a certain horse that does well at a certain race course. I feel that this is the race course. If Steph's a horse, Monte Carlo's his race course. So I know that JG said Monfils to knock out Daniil Medvedev. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Daniil's actually not done that badly at Monte Carlo in the past, despite him saying, I hate the clay, I don't like all this. Don't think it really matters that much. And I think that Daniil, he can beat the likes of someone like a Djokovic at Monte Carlo. We've seen it. Holger Rune, I think that we might see the best of Holger Rune coming back in this tournament. Rune, I reckon, to beat Arnaldi. And Berrettini, will he be tired? Will he be fatigued coming out of that matchup that he's going to be playing in Marrakesh. He's played a whole week's tennis. Kobayas Buena in the final. I think Dimitrov's going to continue his good form as well. I think the informed players, I think Berrettini, just his form coming at a slightly lower level at 250s. I mean, I think that there'll be a lot of people disagree with that one. Dimitrov's been to the semi-finals in Monte Carlo recently, so he likes it there. Coric versus Struff. I mean, I would go Jan-Lennard Struff, and I'm going to stick with it. I think Struff, if he can come back against Sebastian Baez, I reckon he can beat Borna Coric as well. We got So Iconic in going Dimitrov win. I like it. And So Iconic reckons Monfils with the upset as well. I like that. Got Shashi Kumar in as well. Good to see you. I'm going down to this one. Fokina versus Sinner. I think it'll be dangerous, but I've got a feeling that Sinner will grind him out in 2 close sets. There we go. So I'm going to have Jannik Sinner to face Jan-Lennard Struff. And I believe we're getting up. This is the round of 16 now. Djokovic versus Musetti. The rematch of last year. I'm going for Djokovic this time. I think that he will learn from his mistakes, and he won't want the horror show that we saw last year to happen again. It was one of the worst Djokovic performances I've seen in recent years. Musetti didn't even play well. It was a terrible match. It had drama. That's all I'll say for that match. And credit to Musetti. He managed to somehow edge out Djokovic on that day. Griekspoor versus Rublev. I'm going to be having Andrei Rublev to continue in Monte Carlo. A consecutive run of wins from last year's final up until here. And meeting Djokovic in the quarterfinal. I'm going to have Carlos Alcaraz knocking out Ugo Humbert. And I'm going to have Casper Ruud to knock out Hubie Hurkacz. I think this will be one step too far. Hurkacz been to a final. I think he will start to tire. And I think Ruud will start to move him around with that huge top spin on these Monte Carlo courts. They favour that big top spin. Rafa wouldn't have won it 11 times otherwise, would he? Zverev versus Tsitsipas. Well, I said it in the draw reaction. I'm gonna go for Steph. I think Steph's gonna have a little run at this tournament. He's gonna start proving a few people wrong. He's gonna start coming through and just get his head a bit higher. Get your chin up, mate. I feel like there's a little bit of a sad aura around Tsitsipas and the camp at the moment, and I'm thinking right now that Tsitsipas this is gonna be the tournament that he turns it around and shows us that he is still in there with the big players. And I think, well, Medvedev, Surundalo, I'm going to be going for Daniel Medvedev. Nah, is it just because I want to see Tsitsipas Medvedev? Maybe it is. I can't wait. Every time those two get pitted against each other, I want to watch it. I think Daniel, he's not as bad as he says on clay, and he's improving every year. Remember that. It's not... Everybody looks at the highlights and just think, oh, yeah, well, he was moaning about it. And then he starts doing well, and then he does better at Roland Garros each year. Who knows? Maybe this year he'll be even better. We've got Holger Rune versus Grigor Dimitrov. I'm going to be going for Holger Rune. I think getting to the final last year, he likes it here. This is a really tough one to pick, though. I am going for Holger Rune to outlast Grigor Dimitrov in this match. And I'm seeing this as a tournament for the resurgence of a few tennis players. Holger Rune, Tsitsipas, Rublev, you've seen all going through. And I think Jannik Sinner will beat Jan-Lennard Struff. Battle of the Jans there down the bottom. Right, move all the way to the top. And we've got Novak Djokovic versus Andrei Rublev at the top. And I think that this is where Djokovic's tournament ends. I'm sorry if you're a Djokovic fan. I'm going for Andrei Rublev to knock out Novak Djokovic in the quarterfinal. No treble Golden Masters, sadly. As much as I want it to happen, I will be cheering Djokovic on. But I just got a feeling that Andrei Rublev, being the reigning champion, wanted to come back, make an impact, and this could kickstart his clay court swing with a bang. Yeah, so I'm going to be going for Andrei Rublev to knock out Djokovic. Let me know if you agree or disagree in that live chat and comment section. Casper Ruud versus Carlos Alcaraz. I'm going to be going for Carlos Alcaraz. I don't think this injury will scupper his chances. I feel that he's got enough time to rest it, and I feel that he's got enough quality to not have to even play too hard in maybe the earlier rounds. I think he'll beat Casper Ruud. Moving down, Tsitsipas Medvedev. This is the big one. And cheers to Servant Jill saying, I agree with Ben. And Gene not mad at my picks either there. I appreciate that. What really is saying no way Rublev is going past Novak. Wow, appreciate that. Make sure everybody's hit the like button on the video if you haven't done so, and subscribed as well. Join us for Monte Carlo action all of this next week. I'm going for Tsitsipas. I'm going Tsitsipas to beat Daniil Medvedev, and hopefully a little dance at the end. That's what I'm going for. Beats Medvedev, a little bit of back and forth during the match, and then a Tsitsipas, maybe he does like the robot or something at the end of the match. I'd like to see it. I'm sure everybody else would. I want to see that saga continue between those two with the dance moves. And moving down to the match that happened last year. This quarterfinal was in the semi-finals last year. Holger Rune and Jannik Sinner. Holger Rune won it last year. Do I think he's going to beat Jannik Sinner this year, though? No, I don't. I think Jannik Sinner's form and this amazing 2024 will continue for Jannik Sinner in this tournament. He's going to have a lot more fans in Monte Carlo now than what he did last year, I think. And that is going to be helping him at every tournament. He is a silent assassin. Maybe this is the battle of the assassins. The baby-faced assassin in Holger Rune and the silent assassin in Jannik Sinner. Moving to my semi-finals, and I have Andrei Rublev versus Carlos Alcaraz. And Alcaraz said it. He said he's back. And he didn't play it last year. Didn't have a good Monte Carlo in 2022. I think he's going to make the final of this year's Monte Carlo. I think he will defeat Andrei Rublev. I think it will be in 3 sets as well. I think it will be a 3-setter. I move to the bottom. Tsitsipas versus Sinner. And Tsitsipas so good here. If he's in the semi-final, surely he makes the final, I hear you cry. But no, I'm going for Jannik Sinner to prove people wrong a little bit. I think there's a lot of doubters saying, well, it's only a hard court Sinner. He's not going to do well on the clay. I think there's a way that Sinner's going to come through this tournament riding on the hype, and he's going to get past Tsitsipas in the semi-final. And we're going to get a final, which I'm sure half the world are going to want to see. If it's not this, it's going to be Djokovic on the other side. If we get this one, it's going to be incredible. But if we get this matchup and it's Alcaraz versus Jannik Sinner, I think Carlos Alcaraz will win Monte Carlo. So there you go. You've got it from me here. My winner of Monte Carlo is Carlos Alcaraz. He may be carrying a slight knock at the moment, but I think he'll shake it off and he'll have enough to win this tournament. I think he's going to be very motivated. He's flying the Spanish flag. There's no Rafael Nadal in this tournament. He's going to try and do it, probably for Rafa as well. And let me know your pick in that comment section, in that live chat. I want to know, who did you have winning? I'm really interested because there might be some people going for Djokovic in this one. There might be some people, maybe they have a shocker coming through. Maybe a Berrettini, someone like that. Now, I'm going to get on to my dark horse and tell you who I'm going to be picking for dark horse of Monte Carlo. There you go, the new dark horse button. JG wasn't here to see it. Hopefully he sees it in the replay. So I'm going to tell you my dark horse now of this tournament. And there's just part of me that just feels that I've got to pick him. and he's up here. And he's up on this top half. And if he gets past Taylor Fritz, I think Lorenzo Musetti could have a really good tournament. He's beaten the likes of Djokovic before. I reckon he could beat, if he beats Djokovic, he could beat a Rublev. And then if we got Alcaraz versus Musetti, who knows? On the clay, anything is possible. So that's pretty much it. Tell me your dark horses in that comment section, in that live chat. I really want to hear how all of you see this one going, and who you've got in your picks as well. It's a very interesting one. JG's picks I'll release later on. I'll pop them out on the channel as well. But do not go anywhere, because we've got Player Roulette coming up for all of our Patreon members as well. I'm just going to do that just after this. So let's jump over to Roulette. Right, here is the wheel, and the wheel is spinning. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, ba, bum, ba, ba. Bum, ba, ba, ba. This is my own little countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop! Right, there we go. Here are our people. Oh, I've got Tsitsipas. Yes, there we go. JG has Grigor Dimitrov. Let's have a look down the list. We've got Zach with Sasha Zverev. We've got Chris Radabay, Bublik. Who has Djokovic? Lindsay Platelli, Holger Rune, Sankit. We've got Durante with Hubie Hurkacz, Gary with Adrian Manarino, Colby Kelly with Carlos Alcaraz, Nancy with Andre Rublev, Goldflake with Jannik Sinner, that's a good one, Aman Kassam, Alex de Minaur, tennis for me, Taylor Fritz. We got Tiffany with Karan Khachanov. We've got Lynette with Francisco Cerundolo, Michael Walker with Sebastian Baez. We've got Bill with Talon Grigspor. Might not be too sad about that. And Gene there. You've got Casper Ruud. Chris with Ugo Umber. Zach Shahan with Daniel Medvedev. Thomas Rock with his favourite, Lorenzo Musetti. And me and JG with Dimitrov and Tsitsipas. Just like that, people. Right. I think it's nearly time to wrap this one up, and I'll see you in just 2 ticks. Yes, so it's all over, the draw preview. Make sure to enter your brackets if you haven't done so yet, or at least tell me your picks in that comment section below. But for now, it's over and out. Will it be Alcaraz? Will it be Sinner? Will it be Djokovic? Or will it be someone completely different? But for now, over and out. See you for the tournaments.